Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It is baby names that I really like and might still use. A few of them I definitely, well, most likely won't use for various reasons, which I will share with you as I get to them. But I have done a video like this on my channel before. If you haven't seen it, you can go check that out. Maybe it'll give you some different ideas. I don't know, maybe I have some repeats. Okay, I can think of one for sure that I repeated, but we'll see. I have 7 children, and for those of you who do not know me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I just had my 7th baby. He is 3 months old, so I've got babies on my mind. I've also got a couple of nieces coming and a nephew, and I'm very excited they're coming in the next few months here. One of them is due in 8 days, and I'm really excited about that. But I always keep a running list of baby names on my phone. It's just something I always have handy. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 15 girls' names and 15 boys' names, and then at the end, I will share with you my own children's names, which I obviously really like, and I'll share all the name meanings and including just all the names I'm sharing today. I am going to be sharing the meanings and origins where I can. I think I can with all of them, I'm pretty sure. And also something that's really important to me when I was naming babies is how popular it is. So I got my information off of Baby Center's website, so if that's accurate, I mean, I can't vouch for it 100%, but that's where I always go to see how popular a name is. And I will share that with you as well. If you only came here for the boys' names, I will leave a timestamp on the screen for where you can go to get to that right away. But without further ado, let me show you what I've concocted. These are, I obviously have I have a lot of names I really like, and you know how it is if you're with a partner, you're trying to discuss names together, they don't always agree. So that's a lot of the names that I really like. That's why I couldn't use them. Such is life. I think some people don't care so much if their spouse or partner likes the name they choose as much, and then some spouses are kind of indifferent. But for me, it's very important that both my husband and I really love the name. So yeah, maybe some of these names I like and he just doesn't like, but definitely every single one of these names I really like. So without further rambling on, let me get into it. So the first name I have on my list is Jane. Jane is a beautiful girl's name, which I used to think would be very good for a middle name until one of my sisters suggested using it as a first name. And she was like, do you ever think of that? And I was like, no. So now it's been growing on me. I really like it as a first name. Although I probably did think of it as a first name before. I mean, it's just a really pretty name, but I've always kind of had it on my list. And the name Jane is Hebrew, and it means God is gracious, and it ranks number 120 in popularity, which I know this is kind of crazy probably, but I like to have names that are no less than like 400 and something in popularity. You'll see later that not all of my children are as unique as I maybe would have liked, but I just really like the names. So, but you can never tell. Like, I wouldn't name a child solely based on that. If I really love the name, the popularity does come second to that. But names being a little more unique do make the name more appealing to me. Personally, that's how I feel. Next, we have the name Genevieve. Genevieve, it has always been one of my favorite names, and Aaron's my husband, and usually he always said no to Genevieve until recently. It's been growing on him. Now, I don't know if I'll have more children, and especially I don't know if I'll have more girls, but if I did, this is definitely one that's up there for possible use since it is growing on him. But we'll see. I've also got sisters getting married and having children, and brothers with wives, and lots of babies coming into the family, and so they might use some of these names. And if they do, now some people would be okay repeating a name for a cousin. I would just rather not, but you never know if I love it enough. We'll have Genevieve 1 and Genevieve 2. I'm kidding. So Genevieve is French, and it means white wave, and it is number 168 in popularity. So it's not the most popular, but it's also not super unique. So yeah, next up we have the name Sage, which I think can sometimes be used as a boy's name. I mean, I'm pretty sure it can. And Sage is Latin, and it means from the spice or prophet. So that's interesting, and it's number 264. Pretty good. But Sage, I would almost use as a middle name. Just a lot of those one-syllable names I prefer as middle names, but it really doesn't matter too much. It's a very pretty first name. Next, I'm going to probably get some flack for this, but I think some people in my family, maybe a couple of my kids and my husband, would not quite be on board with this. I'm pretty sure my husband does not like this name at all, but we'll see. I don't know if I've recently mentioned it to him, but that's the name Ethel. I know it's out there for sure, and it's definitely more old-fashioned, but I just really love that. I love old-fashioned names. And Ethel is Teutonic, I'm not sure what that is, and it means noble. And it ranks number 5015 in popularity. So it's kind of expected, actually. So, and while I was actually looking for names, I did not have this one on my list, but I've since added it because I really, really like it, and that's the name Helen. I kind of forgot about that name, but it's just so pretty. And Helen is Greek and means bright one. And in popularity, it ranks number 808. So, very good. Next, we have the name Nelly. And I like it spelled with I-E. That's just personal preference. And this is the one, when I was looking this one up, I found Helen because they mean the same thing. And this one is English, and it ranks number 127 in popularity. Next, we have the name Willow. Willow is so pretty, and especially if you like those like plant names, it's one of the prettiest for sure, at least in my opinion. And Willow is an Old English name, I believe it says, and it means willow tree, not surprisingly. And it is number 26 in popularity. And that has been going down from the previous year by 3. I don't know if that part matters to you, but I always check that too. Anyway, so that was Willow, and then next we have Phoebe. Phoebe is a name that I've always really loved, and my husband is not a big fan of, and that's why we haven't used that one. And Phoebe is Greek and means shining, brilliant, and it ranks number 634 in popularity. And that has gone down as well, 375, which is crazy. Next we have the name Molly. Molly is a form of Mary and means bitter. It's Hebrew, and it ranks number 556, and it went down as well, 220. Wow. Anyway, Molly is a really pretty name. The only reason I haven't used Molly is because my husband views it more, please don't take offense by this is just an opinion, but my husband views it more as a pet name. Now, my name, Sophie, a lot of people will view more as a pet name. And I have a sister, Sadie. People view that sometimes as a pet name. Really, a lot of names can be pet names, but I really do love the names Sophie and Sadie, by the way. And I think they're great people names. And that goes for Molly, too. I just think it's a really, really pretty name. So, yeah, we'll see if we ever use that one. I sort of doubt it. Next on the list, oh, did I mention what it means? Yeah, I did. Next on the list, we have the name Nora. Nora is Irish. It's an Irish name, and it means honor. I think it means honor, or maybe it's Latin. I don't know. It says different things down here, but these are only screenshots that I took. But anyway, it ranks number 27 in popularity. It's kind of popular, and that actually went up by 7. So I get, if it keeps trending upwards, it'll be pretty high on the popularity list, especially if it's in the top 100. I kind of steer clear of that. I did not with my first child, which I'll explain, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a really pretty name, but a little too popular for me probably. Like, I don't love it that much, I should say. Next, we have the name Eleanor, which is so pretty. I love this name so much, and the only reason I haven't used her, one of the reasons, is because I don't like names sometimes that start with EL. Sometimes they're really nice, but then I just think there are too many. There are too many names that start with EL for girls. Maybe not. I mean, and that's just my opinion. But I also think a lot of them are really, really pretty. So that's why Eleanor made this list. It's just a really pretty name. And that ranks number 31 in popularity, and it went up by 2. So that is really popular. So, and I think for good reason. It's really pretty. Next, and Mom, if you're watching, don't listen to this one. Next, we have the name Margaret, and that's definitely on my favorites list because I think it's so pretty, old-fashioned, and the reason I am saying that about my mom is because her name is Margaret, and she does not prefer it. She's called Peggy, though. That's what people call her. Well, I call her Mom, and my kids call her Grammy. But, oh, I'm putting Freddie to sleep. I don't know if he likes this. Yeah, so Margaret is Persian, and it means child of light. Isn't that really pretty, Mom? And it's like I said, it's like one of those really old-fashioned names. I just love it so much. One of the reasons I didn't use this name is because my mom. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if we ever will, but probably not. And that ranks number 484 in popularity, and it's down by 49. surprisingly. Next on the list, I have the name Rose, and Rose is such a beautiful name, and the reason I won't be using this one is because I already have a daughter with the middle name of Rose, but I've been thinking about it as a first name, and I've been sort of wondering, would it be wrong to use that as a first name if I already have a daughter with a middle name of Rose? But yeah, I might just keep it unique to her and then not use the name Rose. But if anybody names their baby Rose, just know that I think it's so pretty. And it's definitely one of my favorites. So that one is Latin and means rose bush. And it ranks number 101 in popularity, and that is up by 8 points. Next for girls, I have the name Ivy. And Ivy is such a beautiful name, and we 100% almost used it for a couple of our kids, I think. A few of my last pregnancies that were girls, I considered the name Ivy very, very much. It was to the point, I think, when I was pregnant with one of my girls, that we were calling her Ivy. We were just so sure we were going to use it, but we didn't use it for different reasons, and one of them is popularity. So Ivy is English, I don't remember if I said that, and it means vine, and it ranks number 28 in popularity, and it's up by 6. Good reasons though, because it is beautiful. Well, I have such a variety on the like in these list of names, as you can tell. Like, some of them are super old-fashioned, some of them are really trendy, and then some of them are super unique. And then I have some Bible names thrown in. It's just what I like. It's not one specific theme necessarily, but it's just what I like. Next on the list, we have the name Violet, which is such a beautiful name. I can't use it because I have a niece named Violet, and also it's pretty popular. And I just love it for her. It fits her. Somehow it suits her. I don't know. I just love the name Violet. It is so pretty. So my sister chose well. And Violet means violet flower, and it's Latin. And it ranks number 24 in popularity, which is down 3 points. So maybe it's becoming more unique. I'm not really sure. You never know, I guess, year to year. And now we're moving on to the boys' names. So that was, what, like 15 girls' names? That was a lot. So on to the boys' names. I'll start out with Caleb. Caleb is a name that Aaron and I still might use for a baby if we should have another boy. I don't know for sure. I have a few boy names that I really, really like. They're definitely high on the list, and Caleb is one of them for sure. But part of the hold up, or the reasons we weren't using it, is because of A, popularity, and B, thought there was a B. I can't remember. Oh, I don't know if Aaron likes it as much anymore as he used to. No, I think he still likes it. I can't remember. Sometimes the names get all jumbled in my head. And oh, this is part of the reason. It means dog. And I think you could also kind of twist it around to mean like faithful and devotion and stuff like that. But yeah, it's Hebrew, and it ranks number 63. Kind of popular, and it's down by 12. So you never know with these names. Next on the list, we have the name Ivan. Ivan is such a strong name. I just love it so much, but it is too close to one of my boys' names. I have an Owen, so Owen and Ivan, I don't know. It wouldn't be awful, but it's just, I don't know. It means God's gracious gift. It's Hebrew, and it's ranked number 319, and it's down by 157, so that's good. It's getting more unique, but it's just such a cool name. I really like it. If your name is Ivan, that's really cool. And then next on the list, I have the name Graham. Graham is actually British and means warlike, which is interesting. And it ranks number 172, and that's up by 34. I love that name. I think I don't hear a lot of Grahams, even though it says number 172, which I should be hearing of more probably, but I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been around enough Grahams. I don't know. It's just a really cool name. I really like it. So definitely on the list. Next on the list, we have the name Adam. Adam is a Bible name. It's Hebrew, and it means red earth. Adam is ranked number 46 in popularity, and it's up by 9. It's just, I really like it. I feel like that's a very strong name too. I really like strong names for boys. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever use it. I guess we'll see. Now, next on the list, I kept this in here because it's just a boy's name that I really, really like, but it's his name. This baby right here. And the reason I kept it on the list is because I thought, well, it will give you guys some ideas, and I'm sharing my baby's names anyway, but I kept it with the 15 boys' names that I'm recommending because I just love it so much. And it's Frederick. we call him Freddie, but actually occasionally you might hear a Fred. My husband's not a fan of that nickname, but we really like Freddie and Frederick. So Frederick is Teutonic as well and means peace. And Frederick ranks number 667, pretty unique, and it's up by 425. So it might be becoming popular. I guess we'll see, but rightfully so, again, because it's such a good, strong name. I love the name Frederick. Next on the list, we have the name Calvin, and that's something that my husband loves. My husband really, really likes this name, and I was not a fan of it so much, but it has since grown on me, and it has made the list of names that I love, and we might use someday, I don't know, except for the fact that it means bald, and I'm not sure why. And it's Latin, and it ranks number 196 in popularity, and it's up by 28. Interesting. Next on the list, I almost didn't include because I was thinking I definitely for sure will use this name, and I just never know, because again, I don't know if I'm going to have more boys, and I just don't know if I do have more boys, if for sure Aaron will want to use this name, although I know he likes it as well. We have a few holdups on it of reasons we might not use it, but it is a very precious name to me, and I just thought, you know what, I will share it with all of you. And you might think it's ugly for all I know, but that's why, like, everyone's unique, everyone has their different likes and dislikes and tastes, and this is mine. Get ready for it. I like the name of Reuben. It is a really good, strong boy's name, again, but it does make me think of a sandwich. So there's that. And it's Hebrew, and it means behold a son. It's ranked number 618 in popularity, and it's up 310. That's a lot. Next on the list, and this is interesting, I have an interesting story with this one, is the name Patrick. Patrick is Latin and means nobleman, and it's number 262 in popularity, and it's down by 44. Now, when I heard the name Patrick, and we have some family, some people in our family named Patrick, like distant cousins and whatnot, but nobody real close, and I just really, really love the name, and so I thought for sure I'll use it one day until. This was before I was pregnant with Freddie. I walked into a Dairy Queen in North Dakota. I'll never forget. And we lived in North Dakota for a while. And anyway, I walked in there and I heard some guys talking in the kitchen, and they were talking about the name Patrick. And the one guy was saying how it's a terrible name, and who would ever think Patrick is a good name? Patrick, he just was going on and on about the name Patrick. He completely ruined it for me. I know he didn't mean to. But I was thinking, I love that name so much, and I was just listening to this, trying to cover my ears, but also trying to still listen. It was just a horrible experience. I'm kidding. I'm being dramatic about it, but I just never heard anybody talk so hatefully about that name. Anyway, those guys were talking, and one of them was saying how he doesn't understand how any parents could do that to a child, name him Patrick, and what parents would ever do that. And then the other guy said Mr. and Mrs. Star. Well, obviously, you know, if you watch SpongeBob. Anyway, yeah, because of that, I didn't like it anymore, and didn't like it as much, and then when I found out I was pregnant, found out he was a boy, Patrick wasn't even one of the top names anymore at that point. But I definitely like Frederick more. I probably will never use Patrick, not just because of that, it's just, I don't know if Aaron really is a big fan of that name, but it's a really, really cool name. I really do like it a lot. Next on the list for boys' names, I have the name Gilbert. Gilbert is Teutonic as well, and it means trusted. And it ranks number 1,314 in popularity, and it's down 84, which is like not a lot at all, but I like the name Gilbert. It does make me think of Anne of Green Gables, which is totally fine because I like that movie a lot. And the books I've actually never read, I don't think. But yeah, I really like the name Gilbert. Gil for short. I don't know how much I like Gil, actually. Anyway, next on the list, I have the name George. I just love this name so, so much. And when I first had brought it up to Aaron many years ago, he had hated it. Like, he really did not like the name George. But it's grown on him, and now it's on one of the Aaron-approved names list, I believe. But I can't say that for sure. I would have to run it by him again if we ever were pregnant again with a boy. But it's definitely an option on my part, and I think he does like it. I'm pretty sure. Fairly certain about that. And George is Greek, and it means a tiller of the soil or a farmer. which I think is a cool meaning. And it ranked number 176 in popularity, and I knew it was going to be going up, trending upward. So it's gone up by 34, which is a decent amount, I guess. But I just wonder if it's going to be in the top 100 soon. I don't know. Next on the list, I have the name Judah. I've loved this name for several years. It is such a strong boy's name. I really, really love it. It's Hebrew and it means praised. Judah is number 181 in popularity. I think that's fairly decent. Still fairly unique, and it's down by 23. So that's nice. Next on the list, I have the name Luke. Luke is such a cool name. It means light giving, and it's from the Greek or Latin or something. It's ranked number 33 in popularity, and it says no change from the previous year. And it's ranked number 33 in 2024, actually, which is interesting. So no change from 2023 so far, I guess. Yeah, I just really like this name. I maybe would use it as a middle name because, again, like I used to think all the time, one syllable names is it just works better with a lot of the names that I like. One syllable flows nicely, but obviously I love it. Just don't know if I would ever use it for sure. Next on the list, I have the name Edmund, which is such a cool stinking name. I absolutely love this name. And it's English, and it means protector of wealth. Interesting. And it's ranked number 667 in popularity, and it's up by 556 from the previous year. That's crazy to me. But Edmund is such a cool name, and I'm talking about spelling it with a U instead of an O. I think some people do, maybe. I think. Anyway, I just think it's really cool with a U. And it's very similar to the next name I have on my list, which is Edward. Edward is English and means guardian of prosperity. Very similar meanings. Protector of wealth, guardian of prosperity. And it's ranked number 618 in popularity, and that's actually going down. It's gone down 375 from 2023. So these are definitely significant numbers. Interesting. Next on the list, I have the name Henry. Henry used to be my number one top 100% super favorite boy's name. Until I got married, presented the idea to my husband. I think, so when we found out it was a boy, I wanted the name Henry. I love that name, but my husband didn't want it. He doesn't really care for that name at all. And Henry's German, and it means ruler of the household. It's kind of a cool name meaning, but my sister has a son named Henry, so I've got a nephew named Henry, and that's actually pretty relieving to me, I guess, or satisfying, or cool, I guess, because it's nice to have a Henry in the family. If it can't be mine, it can be my nephew. That is just super cool. I love that name. And it's German. Did I mention that? I think I did. And Henry is number 2 in popularity. It is super popular, and it's up by 13. That's just crazy to me how popular it is. Anyway, that is it for the boys' names that I had. So now I'm going to move on to just share with you guys my children's names, what I named my own children, because that right there is just like proof of how much I actually like these names, because I named my children them. Anyway, first on the list, which I already mentioned, we have Owen. Owen is number 74 in popularity, but when I named him, I believe that year in 2016, it was number 35. And that was surprising for me. I thought for sure I was going to go with one of the more unique names, but we had been deciding at the time between Owen, Ethan, and Ivan, I think. So out of those 3, I mean, they all sound pretty similar, but we knew we wanted that, like something with that kind of sound to it. It's hard to explain, but anyway, we wound up with Owen. I just really love names with O. I don't know, I obviously absolutely love that name. I still love it. And it means young warrior. Owen, I believe, is English or Old English or something. It doesn't really say here. Anyway, young warrior. Next, for my next child, and my next was a girl, so I actually had boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, no, boy, girl, boy, girl, 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 boy. Yeah. So 4 girls, 2 boys, 3 boys. Sorry, Freddie. And next up we have Felicity. Felicity is Latin and means happy. And it's number 772 in popularity. It's down by 265 from the previous year. And her name is Felicity Brooke. I just absolutely love it so much. I really love Felicity. And next on the list, we have the name Titus. Titus is Greek, and his name means defender. I shouldn't say on the list. These are my actual children. Titus is, it's ranked number 319 currently in popularity, and that's in 2024. And it's up by 187. It's getting more popular. I remember looking up his name when I was having him, and it was not this popular. So everyone's doing what I did. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's a cool name. And I remember when we named him, I think he was our biggest baby, or yeah, he was our biggest baby. He weighed 815. He had these big shoulders, and I just remember the nurses making comments on how big he was. And then when they learned his name was Titus Alexander, they kept going on about how it was such a fitting name for like a big baby. It just seemed like it fit. I can't describe it, but several people commented on that in the hospital. Next on the list, we have my daughter Hadassa. We call her Hattie because a lot of people for some reason they've never heard of the name Hadassa, and it's totally fine. Like, I don't mind nicknames. Really, I know some people do, but some people call her Dassy. My sister still calls her Dassy or Dassa sometimes, and yeah, but for the most part, it's just Hattie. Hadassa is Hebrew and means flowering myrtle, and it's ranked number 699 in popularity, and it's actually gone down 157 from the previous year. Next up, we have the name Tabitha, and that is my 5th child, my 3rd daughter, and that's Aramaic, and it means gazelle. And Tabitha, I love that name so much. I thought we would call her Tabby, but we always just call her Tabitha, and that's just stuck. And she's the one with the middle name of Rose, Tabitha Rose. Such a pretty name, if I do say so myself. And this one's ranked number 1,476 in popularity, and that's down by 6. So barely anything, so it's basically staying there, and that is a pretty unique name for sure. Next, for my babies, I have the name Eden. I named my 6th baby this, and Eden is Hebrew and means paradise, and that is fairly popular. Currently it's number 83 in popularity, and it's up by 34. So it's definitely getting more popular. I know it was in the hundreds at least, or maybe even 200. I think it was in the hundreds when I named her, but I can't always go by that. Like, I definitely look at that and consider that, but you can't always go by that. I just really love the name Eden, so that's what we went with, and I just remember being so happy once we decided that. Anyway, those are 6 of my kids, and then I already told you the 7th is Freddie. So that's gonna be it for all the names. So I hope it gave you guys some ideas or inspiration if you're pregnant, or maybe you have children with these names, or know somebody with these names. And sometimes if you know somebody with the name, it either ruins it or seals it for you. Not always seals it, because like, even if you know someone who you really love and appreciate with one of these names, you still don't want to name your child that because you just associate the name with somebody else. So that's why I like to find unique names and different names and names I've never heard before, but sometimes you just can't. Anyway, I just hope that this video gave you some ideas, like I said, and let me know what other kind of videos you guys want to see. Like I said, I've done this video before. I may do it again. I guess we'll see. And Freddie's waking up, poor baby. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great week. Bye.